Hello, everyone. Another Friday. I want to start off this morning by asking you a question. Are you a leader? Now, you don't have to answer right away, but just think about this. Are you a leader? Some, when they hear the word leader, might think of it as it applies to a military position, a political position, maybe a business or an organizational position. And there's many different styles of leadership. It's the being a commander type thing, like do as I say, or a democratic leader who will get all kinds of buy-in and try to get the fairest resolution to a situation. And there's this type of leadership of just hands off, just let the matters go the way they go. And some might think that it's easy to lead during good times and difficult during tough times. Some may believe that tough times make great leaders. So, are you a leader? Well, I think you are all leaders. And I say that because of what it takes to be a leader. You need clarity. You have to understand what the situation is. You have to be decisive on what type of plan you want to put in place. You have to have courage, passion, and sprinkle in a little humility. Now, how does that apply to being a TOPS member? Again, you might not recognize what you're doing has an effect on people around you. And I give an example to this is that I never really thought as my father as being a leader. But as I got older and I started reflecting on things that happened in his life and how it affected my life, I realized that he had all the types of leadership and skills, but just didn't come off as saying, I'm a leader. It was just a natural occurrence that happened. And I think we all have that capability in us, and we might not recognize this. You've heard the expression, a natural born leader. Well, that's not said on the minute you're born. It's usually said later on in life where something happens and cause attention to what's going on, and then you're tagged as, well, you're a natural born leader. It doesn't work that way. You have to use the life's experiences and skills on going forward and how you handle situations. So, are you a leader? Again, I think the answer is yes. You all are leaders. You need to take charge. And how does this again apply to what we do? We are all leading the charge towards a healthy lifestyle. And we do so by example, we do so by sharing, we do so by letting people know how we approach the problems. Again, it's all those skills wrapped up into one, and then you're again leading by example. And I think it's important for you folks to realize that you have those abilities to lead into this cause and not be swayed by what I always say, all the noise out there. And we can apply this to what we're dealing with as TOPS members as we struggle with our weight and try to get that healthier lifestyle that we all want. But just look at what's going around us. There's a lot of strife going on, a lot of civil unrest, a lot of things that we can't control, but we can control what happens to us individually. We can control what goes on as we want, what we want to share, how we want to be, what type of person we would like to be. So when I asked the question right at the beginning, are you a leader? What were you thinking? Do you think that you don't have the skills to be a leader? Have you always considered yourself to be a follower? I wonder how many of you thought, uh-oh, he's trying to make a pitch on being a chapter leader. Well, that's probably not a bad idea. I've heard a lot of folks say that they don't want to be a chapter leader, that they don't have the skill set, and they just don't think they can do it. And I've always told folks, yeah, you can be a chapter leader. You can be a leader in anything you want to do. You just got to put your mind to it, be aware of what the situation is. So again, if you don't think that you are a leader or you can't be a chapter leader, where else can you try to push the envelope? Where else can you try something that you've never tried before, if not in TOPS, which the foundation of how we go about our business is support, and failure is not an option. And when I say failure is not an option, I understand that sometimes we goof up, make little errors and slips and stuff, but we learn from those. And that's another category. That's another thing that will make you a good leader. Again, it's that humility, not to be so full of yourself because you are a leader or you have that title as being a CEO of a company or a manager or a chapter leader or something of that nature. Sometimes situations in my life when I was put into things that I thought I would never be able to handle when I was in town politics and we had criminal cases that we had to work on, and I would have to meet with attorney generals, and I met with the governor one time when I was dealing with a bioterrorism issue for the state. And I'd come home and I'd tell my wife Ann, and that was a pretty cool thing, the experience. And then I'd always go talk to my parents, and they said, "Weren't you nervous talking to the governor or talking to the attorney general?" And I guess I never thought of being nervous because we all have jobs. We all want to do things, and we all are leaders. So I never tended to put one person above the other. So I think that's why I tend to be the person who I am. I don't panic in tough situations. I like to learn from my mistakes, and I've made many, and I try to learn from them. And then I always go back to say, well, that works well for what I'm trying to do with in TOPS or my individual quest to get back to goal. So again, and it all goes back to experiences in realizing that you can do anything you put your mind to it. And then I kind of go back to reflecting on my dad, who it was probably a little late, and I don't know if I ever had the chance to let him know, but he was the leader that I didn't know existed because he encompassed all the things that I've been talking about. So I'm just putting it out there that I think you're that person to somebody that you may not realize that's what you're doing. So again, the question, are you a leader? The answer, yes. You are a leader. You can do anything that you put your mind to it. So I hope you have a great day. Put your mind to it. You're going to have a great day, a great week, and I want you to reflect upon what have you been doing to lead folks to a healthier lifestyle. Have a good day, and we'll see you next week.